Hello, this is Amanda Ray, the intuitive healer and psychic medium. I am here today to do a pick a card reading for you. So my pick a card readings are a little bit different than some of the other ones that you will see out and floating around. I specialize in personal growth and spiritual evolution, so a lot of my pick a cards have a little bit of that flair mixed into it. So a little bit of fresh take on an old classic. So today's pick a card reading is all about finances and career. So just depending on who this message is for, some might talk a little bit about career, some might talk strictly about finance. So we're open for it. Before you choose your cards, please take a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and really connect with your heart and soul. Now, if you need more time to do that, please pause the video before continuing. I'm just going to jump right on into it, however. So, this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So, pile number 1 has green aventurine on it. Pile number 2 has quartz. And pile number 3 has jasper. So again, if you need more time, please pause the video. If you're ready to rock and roll, we're going to start on pile number 1 here. So green aventurine is a very heart-centered stone, really helping you connect with your heart and really open things up. So the stone in and of itself for your pile here is telling me that you need to practice giving and receiving more. If you're used to giving, okay, well now it's time to practice receiving. If someone gives you a compliment, accept it instead of trying to block it or shift it out or not accept it. Or if you're always accepting, take time to ask about other people in your life. Like, what can I do to connect with them? How can I show them love and support? So different messages for different people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over all the cards so we can really take a good look at what's up, and then we'll start into the channel messages. The first card is the healer. You have the spiritual gift of healing and a desire to share it with others. Builder. Your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. Children, your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. Nature. Pray. And Archangel Michael. Abundance. In the near future. And no need to worry. So right off the bat, you guys like to help people. So a lot of you are going to fit into the category of giving too much. But there's so much like anxiety. It's like you can't clear your head. There's too much going on. You're worried about finances, but like not really. You're worried about like 3 months in the future, if things do XYZ, then you would be in this position. So it's like you're creating this worry about your finances that's actually not there. It's like you're trying to prepare for the worst. Something like that. But like there's so much abundance around you. Like anytime you've been short on money, all of a sudden someone steps up and is like, here you go, let me help you. And a lot of the times when that would happen, you felt a little bit guilty. So now is the time to start rewinding a little bit. So I just see there's glare from the window. Rewind a little bit. Look back and see how much has been trying to give to me. How much are my guides showing up for me and providing what I need? You may not get material abundance, so it might not be someone's handing you $100 bill, but all of a sudden someone's dropping off a box of diapers if you've got kids, or someone posted online that, oh, hey, I've got this extra formula, anybody need it, kind of thing. So you always are provided for. It just doesn't always look like you expected it to. And a lot of your financial situation is letting go of expectations. Stop expecting shit to go down. Stop expecting it to happen. It's time to really start noticing what you can be grateful for in your life, because you tend to not celebrate your accomplishments and kind of keep yourself under that pressure because you feel like everything must be hard and it must be a challenge and I must, all the things. So now it's time to shift that, and you no longer need to feel that way. You've shifted into a new phase and you felt it. Things are different, but you're still operating in those old habits, which totally understand. But now it's time to shift your habits as well. That healer card, if you're in a healing career, it's perfect for you. So that could be like a counselor, therapist, doctor, reflexologist, Reiki master, like literally anything in the healing realm, anything that's helping people to feel improved or helping them figure out how to change things, shift things, that kind of thing. But you also like to physically get your hands dirty. So it's like the healing jobs for some of you are too easy. And so you talk yourself out of how can it be so easy to make money? It's like, I have to work hard for my money. I have to do this. And honey, it ain't like that anymore. Yes, putting in a good day's work is fantastic. However, you don't always have to show up with bleeding hands in order to earn your paycheck. You are naturally built to be in that healing type capacity, whatever kind of career that is. But it just comes so naturally for you that it feels too easy, too good to be true. And these cards are saying, you're surrounded with that abundance because you are meant to do this. Like, it's supposed to be easy. You're supposed to be good at it. It's supposed to flow. If you have been thinking of shifting your career just a little bit to work more with children or help people with children or something like that, this is your sign that yes, go ahead and do that. And that message isn't for everybody, but there's some of you that have definitely been thinking of, like, I don't know, creating a program, opening up to children, something like that. With the things that are happening in the world right now, there's some major shifts happening, and you've had those thoughts before, but now it seems more relevant for you. Archangel Michael, if you're not familiar with archangels, he's kind of like the angel of all angels, and he's kind of like the leader of the angels. So I frequently work with him. He is one of my spirit guides, but he works with many people all simultaneously. That's like one of the archangel superpowers, is they can work with anybody, anytime, anywhere. And he essentially, you can ask him to do any job, and if he doesn't know how to do it, or he isn't the person, he knows who does. So, but they're asking to cut some cords. You can literally see in this picture, the flames on his sword that he's holding. And now it's time to cut some people, cut some things out. So if you're worried about finances and you're worried about, oh, how do I afford this, that, and the other thing? Well, stop going out for supper every day. Stop ordering in. Stop putting yourselves in that position to not have money, because for some of you, there's a lot of instances where you're doing it yourself, to yourself. You have enough. You have everything you need, more than most of the time. But like, if you're worried about, if you don't have a job and 3 months down the road, how does that look? I have savings now, but it won't last. Okay, well then don't go out and buy a new car. Don't take on 5 new pets that require, all of this caretaking, whether it's vet bills, food, whatever. Just be smart about it. Like, they're saying, like, it's like you're trying to make things harder in your own life, because there's that I have to work hard for money. If it's too easy, it can't stay, and stuff like that. So start shifting these old habits, these old trains of thought about money. Archangel Michael can help you. He's simple to work with. Just say, hey, Archangel Michael, come cut the cords with blah, blah, blah. Done. Simple as that. Literally. And doing some praying or meditating, depending on what word resonates for you better. It's pretty much the same thing, though. Spend time connecting with your guides, with your God, with your higher self, the universe, spirit, whatever it is you like to call that. But you need to get outside of your own head, because they're saying kind of a little bit more worried about yourself than anybody else sometimes. And that could show up as not thinking about asking someone else how their day is. You just, talk to them about your stuff, but you don't stop to say, oh, well, I didn't actually ask them, and don't just expect them to speak up for themselves, because sometimes that's not how it works. But they're saying you have way more strength than what you give yourself credit for, just like a thunderstorm, you can hear it rumbling and rolling, but sometimes it just doesn't do anything. It doesn't produce anything. And it's like, and then sometimes just like crash out of nowhere, so bring a little bit more balance into your life. Allow yourself to speak up if you need to speak up. Allow yourself to be quiet if you need to be quiet. But, don't allow yourself to feel like you must hold it in and then you must explode. Like it's very volatile. What's happening, and that could be happening very specifically with the finances or other things too. So you could feel, I must save, and then all of a sudden you're like, I cannot save anymore, buy all the things. So give yourself the grace to understand the patterns that you have and work with yourself. You don't have to restrict yourself if you like to be a spender, and if you like to be a saver, you don't have to push yourself out there to spend everything. It's working with your nature and understanding yourself so that you can live with more grace. It's not about making your life hard. It's about, becoming who you are and being in flow with all of the things that you're feeling. So, yes, if you have a healing career, that's for you. Stop worrying about the things that aren't happening, but don't go out spending if you're concerned about things, because you'll just create a situation that you needed to be concerned about. And cut some cords to the old habits. You're shifting into a new space. So this is what I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It will let you know when I post more pick a card or other spiritually related videos. If you're interested in a private reading to really dive deep into your own things, I have links down below of ways you can connect with me and request a reading. But I'm going to move on to pile number 2. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a very lovely day. All right. Pile 1. All right. Pile number 2. Right here with the quartz. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over and read all the cards for you, and then I'm going to get into the messages and how they all relate together. So before we get started, quartz is like an amplifier. It's really great for cleansing energy and amplifying other energies. So to me, I'm hearing that there's an opportunity for growth for you in your finances, something you can capitalize on, but you might be beating yourself up about taking that. And part of you is feeling guilty for taking advantage of being in a good position, but no need to worry. You're in this position on purpose. So we have Oracle cards. You are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. Protected. You are safe and supported while you change your career. Study. Reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. So again, taking that opportunity, take a course if it's on sale, explore. Trust. Ask for a sign. Forgiveness. Ask for help from others. Lots of asking for you. Success. So now, yes, you can interpret signs from oracle cards or whatever it is. You could just be in touch with your intuition. So it doesn't have to be cards. It could be you hear thoughts and you're able to act on them, feelings and you know what it means. There's a variety of different ways your guides and angels can show up for you. So be a little bit honest with yourself. How do you tap into that information? Do you hear just like someone talking in your ear when you get those messages? What does that mean? What are you kind of ignoring? Part of you feels unsafe about this side of yourself. So when it comes to finances, you have this ability to hear exactly what you need to do. So whether it's investing in a certain thing, making a choice, accepting a job, anything related to financial flow for you, you get those messages. And you've had experiences in the past where you have benefited from hearing that guidance and being able to do it. I don't know if it's like win the lottery or you got the dream job and you got a promotion or something like that. But there's a reason that you're in that position of receiving blessings, because you put in the work. You have this heart of kindness, but you constantly are beating yourself up. So that forgiveness card, forgiving yourself for being better off than some people, forgiving yourself for not donating or offering your time all the time. There's such this need to give back. It's like you want to give so much that you put yourself in lack, but you don't have to. It can be very balanced. Now, there's potentially a course or opportunity for you to gain some confidence. So I don't know, it's very institutional. So some of you, this might be an investment, like into like the stock market or RSP, RESP, something like that, something that's already been on your radar. So if you haven't had something like that on your radar thinking about it, that message isn't for you. It's for the people that do have that on their radar. They're urging you to take that chance because part of you knows that it is a good choice financially, whether it's increasing your salary at your job or paying off as an investment, depending on which choice is for who. But don't worry that, someone else didn't act on that guidance and they didn't receive those messages. This is for you. And it's okay to be blessed and share your blessings. There's nothing wrong. If you make $100 extra and you're like, hey, I have an extra $100. Hey, my neighbor, she's got like a whole bunch of kids and, I'm sure they're struggling. So like, maybe I'll just, give them $20 or something. There's nothing wrong with that. Even though that's not what normal people would do, it doesn't matter. You have to follow your heart here, especially when it comes to finances, trusting yourself, trusting that guidance. Now, you have an interesting relationship with your guides because you hear them, it's a sign, and sometimes you act on it, and then other times you dismiss it because you're scared of acting on it and it working out the way they said it would, if that makes sense. So trusting, ask them for a sign. Your guides want you to be very clear about what it is you're asking. So take that time, write out, okay, if you send me a white butterfly, it means this. If you send me the number 1, it means this. And just create this repertoire or dictionary of signs so that you have, without a doubt, confirmation of the signs you're receiving so that you can't talk yourself out of it. Because there's been times where you've been like, oh, I should really do this, and then you didn't, and you're like, oh my God, those were my winning lottery numbers, or whatever the case may be for you. So there has been times when you're like, oh my gosh, I should have just listened to that gut instinct, that intuition, that feeling. And it's okay to accept help from others because your guides actually use other people in your life to speak through, because it's easier for you to hear the messages that way because you tend to ignore things. So if you're getting guidance or counsel from someone, a friend, has investments and like, oh, this is just doing so well lately. I just think if you were interested, now is a really great time. There's a reason they're saying that. You are safe and protected. You don't have to worry about these things. You are successful. And maybe part of this is defining what success means to you, because you have all of the abilities. You have this natural emotional intelligence where you're able to connect with people. And say if you own a business, just if someone's applying for a job and they walk through the door, if they're good or bad. You just know. And allow yourself to revel in that, congratulate yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself that you're always beating yourself up. Explore different parts of yourself to understand what your strengths are. Because yes, you're good at a lot of things, but you don't view them as strengths. So taking a little bit of self-reflection so that you can understand parts of yourself so that you can feel more connected to your finances, because you always have everything you need and you're always in the position to be able to capitalize. And the thing is, you share that wealth with others. So it's not like money is not the root of all evil. It's people's intentions. What do they want to do with that money? That's where the energy comes from. So it's okay to rewrite that. It's okay to amplify your own energy. For real. So pile number 2, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I create more videos just like this or other spiritually related videos. If you're interested in a private reading, I have some links down below of ways you can contact me to connect with me and schedule something out. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Pile number 3, the Jasper. So I'm just going to go ahead and channel a message from the rock, and then I'm going to flip all the cards over, read them for you, and then get into the more channeled messages. So this Jasper card is very grounded and rooted energy. So for me, it's saying, kind of stay where you are. Plant roots, gain that stability. Don't make choices that put you in a position to feel unstable, whether that's with family, with finances, anything and everywhere. So it's really that roots of a tree feeling, like really grow roots, feel stable. So books, you connect to your life purpose through your involvement with books. Support, your life purpose fully supports you. Family, loving your friends and family is central to your life purpose. Self-care. Friendship. You already know. You're ready. Be assertive. Meditation brings answers. So right away I'm drawn to the friendship and the family card, that friends and family, and support, all those 3 are really connected. And when it comes to finances, it's like coming together, pooling resources or supporting each other. If you happen to be more than well off and someone else is losing their home, maybe inviting them into your home for a short time. It's supporting, and that sense of community is really huge for you. and not just in an online space, because you're such a people person. That physical connection is very important for you. You know, that grounded, community rooted feeling. Okay, so they're showing me some of you spending a lot of time online, whether that's through a phone, tablet, computer, whatever. And just because it's available, and it's been like, oh, well, everyone else is doing it, so, you know, just hanging out. And you're feeling disconnected from yourself, you know. You're more of that physical person. So if you're reading lots of books or you're listening to a lot of books, maybe it's time to pick up a real book. Change the way you're doing that. You know, if you have friends, and yes, the world is weird, but maybe it's time to do something as a physical representation of your friendship, of that support. So, you know, maybe you can't see them, maybe you live too far away, or you're following quarantine guidelines, or whatever's happening for you in your life. But maybe you could send them a card. You know, it might take forever to get there. You know, the postal service is a little bit unpredictable at the moment. But it's time to start shifting and changing. It's time to start getting more back to who you are. I feel so restless and unsettled. Like, just, I have to shift and move in this reading. So like there's a very ungrounded energy happening here. You're ready to make these shifts and set some boundaries, you know, for yourself when it comes to finances. Don't just spend all night online shopping if you're trying to save money. Like, that makes zero sense at all. So it's time to switch things up just a little bit. Do things a little bit differently. Meditation, connecting with your guides, connecting with your God, your spirit, your higher self, universe, whatever it is you like to connect with. And spending that time with yourself and your friends and loved ones rather than connected to a device will help you immensely in your finances. And I know that sounds a little bit unconnected, but it's like you're spending too much time feeling unsatisfied, so you're looking for that thing that you need. You're like, oh, I just need a shelf, I'm gonna order it online. When really you wanted to go look at the shelves in a store and enjoy the whole experience. And yes, having the shelf is nice, but it's the act of going and doing the thing that brings you more joy than actually just completing the task by ordering online, if that makes sense. And, you know, different details for different people, but the premise and example will be about the same. Now, you have to make sure you're staying hydrated. My throat, oh, it's getting so dry. That you need to stay hydrated, you know. And I know when people aren't moving as much, they're just hanging out, they're sitting down, you know, staying in their home, not getting as much cardio maybe. It's easy to forget how much water your body really needs. And this is that reminder to hydrate yourself so that you feel better, so that you aren't going into the online shopping. Because you already know these things. You already know all of these things, but you just haven't been capitalizing on that. You haven't been following through for yourself. You know, be assertive, set some goals, take some time, meditate on it, get clear, do that self-reflection, and then set some goals. You are ready for these changes. But start being more, the word that's coming up is old school. Start being more old school. And hey, maybe you can't physically see people, but I bet you sure can physically wave to your neighbor. I bet you sure can physically write a letter to someone that you've been missing, that you wish you could see or visit, whether it's their long distance or short. You know? It's time to reconnect in a really heart-centered way, not just a digital way. And reconnect with your finances too. So if you haven't been looking at your finances, now it's time to get a little clear. How many things did you shop online? You're like, oh, snap. not what I wanted. Let's reset. Let's figure this out here. Right? It's time. That's all the messages I'm getting for you, pile 3. It's time to just get more old school, more connected. Reconnect with all the things. Grow some roots. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you know when I create more videos like this. If you're interested in a private reading, please, I've got some links down below of ways you can connect with me to request a reading, and we can find a time for you. Until then, I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.